shuts the door quietly. I rub my face against my pillow. Through a gap in the curtains, I can see the edges of my room are sharp and bright. The painted leaves look like broken glass. I pull my toes back under the bedding, but I cannot manage to seal warmth in again. I doze, a tight fist in the center of the bed, dreaming of sitting with Ev under a tree. We talk for a long time. Ev's ovaries are empty. Insufficient, she says. That's the medical term, the diagnosis in her files. She stopped menstruating at 23, a year before we met. There's no reason for it, just bad luck and buried genes. I have learned not to complain about my period, which is light and regular, reliable. Ev says I shouldn't worry about it. Never lets it stop her fingers or her tongue. The blood is a good thing, a sign that my body is operating just as it should, a sign that everything is going just fine. Maggie's love affair flashed off and on. She couldn't stop her work. I saw that you loved me, but not enough, Elijah wrote. Dear child, it was not in your nature. You would give me everything when near me, but forget me when away. I wake with a fading sense of relief. I am not sure what I have said out loud and what I have traced through my head. There is running again, pounding in the walls. I hear the little boy laughing. The room has grown very cold and Ev hasn't returned. I tie back all of the curtains in the room and watch the snow fall. I have not spent so much time alone without a to-do list in a long time. Someone has slipped a palm-sized card into the door. A witch's hat winks on the cover. The owner's handwriting is small and square as baby teeth. Missed you both at breakfast again. Hope your stay is lovely. Coffee in the dining room. Didn't want to disturb anything. Her smiley face is a rectangle. I imagine the owner frowning over plates of cantaloupe and toast, scooping wasted jam out of porcelain ramekins. But the little face finishes her note like a question mark. What could I catch you girls doing? I let the card drop to the floor. I pull the Ouija board out from under the bed and set it at the base of the painted moon. I need lavender and sandalwood incenses or a sprig of fresh mint. We left our takeout containers strewn over the floor, oily and splattered with rice. I find 2 cracked peppermints at the bottom of the bag. I sit and unwrap them, arranging the cellophane into bewildered bowls at the top of the board. The planchette does not move. I text Ev to retrieve incense and see that it is nearly noon. I slip a chunk of mint into my mouth and use the heel of my phone to crush the rest. The moon's craters look larger from below, like tunnels. I set my hands on the planchette and listen to the click of sugar against my teeth. Maggie renounced the ghost. She married Elisha in secret. She wrote, I trust by my kindness and denial of many pleasures I can atone for my misery, and ere long look upon myself as a free, happy girl. Hardly a year later, Elisha died. He was ill long before his final expedition. He should never have attempted the trip. The only record of the marriage is Elisha's biography, which Maggie wrote herself. Ev brings coffee and incense wrapped in wax paper. She doesn't take off her boots. She tells me to get dressed and come play outside. It is hardly storming now, and the boy from upstairs has started a snowball fight. He hits her square in the back, and she almost spilled my coffee in the snow. The cup is cold by now anyway. She leaves the door open as she speaks, and the gusts of cold bite at my thighs. Ev leans back into the main hallway and calls, "Coming!" She winks at me as her body drags her away. "Please come play," she says. "You need it." The door slams after her. When I stand, my knees crack. I dump dried flowers out of their jar and tilt 2 sticks of incense against the glass lid. I resume my seat carefully, blowing the flames down to hungry embers. I close my eyes. I can almost hear Ev outside shouting, laughing her vaulting, open laugh. She'll get a good shot in a few times, then let the boy win. I imagine a sharp snowball in my palms, my shoulder winding back and back, my arm a lever. I imagine hitting the boy in the soft place between nostril and lip. The planchette swings across the board. I tell Ev that I dream about being pregnant. I scoop my dream hands over my dream belly and I feel full and content. But somewhere in the dream, I remember the glasses of wine I have drunk, the bike I am riding, the trip I have planned. My blouses retract and swell, flatten and strain. I cannot keep track of this dream fetus. I tell Ev, I think being pregnant might be fine. Sometimes I dream of tentacles suctioning my womb, a beak chipping at my cervix, sheets soaked in ink. Another card under the door. Winter Wonderland. I hope it's adding to the romance. Let me know how long you'll need or want to stay here. Ev says the room smells awful. Why haven't I cleaned up the takeout? My throat bursts with incense. Ev closed the bathroom door and runs the shower. I hear her singing, sounds without lyrics, so I take the takeout containers into each other and wrap them in a paper bag. I open a window on the side of the bed and breakfast and toss the bag outside. The storm has surged back and the snow is climbing quickly, just a foot below the windowsill. The sky hangs furry and gray. Wind puffs snow through the window. I watch the flakes swirl between my ribs and land in the trumpet of hair below my navel. Chill seeps into my belly. I join Ev in the bathroom. She looks ridiculous standing in that huge tub, her legs pulled, holding up a sapling. She watches me step into the tub with pursed lips, so delicate on her slate jaw. The bathroom lights flicker, surge back. I kneel to suck the water caught between her thighs. It will be years before we can afford it, Ev says. Probably 2, maybe 3. We could get a puppy now, to practice. It's good for a child to grow up with a dog. Maggie, a maybe widow, spent 1 year as a Catholic. Then she began to drink. The spirits would not stay away. Ev has gone away and come back again, gone away and come back. She molds slush in the doorway, aligns bags on the floor. Our cell phone batteries beep and die. We need wine, she says, bread, a wind-up lantern, a camping stove. This spell calls for a wand, but Ev sighs through her nostrils and turns away. After nearly 40 years for speaking for ghosts, Maggie Fox published a confession. I have had the idea in my head for many a year, but have never come to a determination before. I have thought of it day and night. I loathe the thing I have been. I was too honest to remain a medium. That's why I gave up my exhibitions. Who knows how to say that? Nobody. I have seen so much miserable deception. Every morning of my life, I have had it before me. When I wake up, I brood over it. I want to see the day when it is entirely done with. The snow keeps falling. It packs against the lowest window panes. The power has gone out and the boy upstairs is sobbing. Down here, the snow reflects light onto my ceiling. I light my candles and place them at the top corners of the board. The flames warp and stretch across the craters, and I see that Ev was wrong. The moon is grinning after all. Foggy and poor, Maggie Fox recanted her confession. She tried to erase it, to tear the record apart. She drank it out of her mind. The owner's handwriting is different now, looser, riddled with cavities. There are no extra blankets. Do not remove the quilt from the birdcage. The canaries will freeze. A soft brown stain obscures her next words. The card reeks of sherry. I touch it to my tongue. Goodbye, the board sings, again and again. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Ev has stopped adding bags to the line. They stretch into the room, each upright and unmarked. When was the last? In the candlelight, my fingers are the color of plums. I stand clawing the air to release my knuckles. On the bed, I spot Ev's brow. She is squeezing her eyes shut. The ceiling grows dimmer. I hear Ev's tight breaths. I take my tools to the bathroom, one by one. Did Maggie call for Elisha's spirit? Did she lie in bed, spinning with wine, and open her bones to receive him? I spread the board on the tub's marble ledge and kneel in the porcelain base. The room is dark and silent, save for the orange hiss of the candles. The plastic planchette skates across the board's letters, graceful and easy. Something shakes the bathroom door, a sort of coughing. I push away the sound and shape letters on my tongue. Maggie Fox wrote, "Like most perplexing things when made clear, it is astonishing how easily it is done." It was her trick, and then it wasn't. When I leave the bathroom, the bed is empty, but Ev's boots sit on the floor. I fumble for a cardigan and tug it down my thighs. I walk out into the main hallway. The carpet is wet and the walls tilt into shadows. Snow presses the parlor's bay window, rising nearly to the roof. Someone has lit an imitation log in the fireplace, but it is hushing now. I see the back of Ev's short, dark hair, her gray t-shirt, her jeans. She stands in front of an immense wrought iron birdcage, waving her fingers at the canaries. As I stand up behind her, they twitch and chatter. I put my hand on the small of Ev's back. Her eyes are bloodshot and small. She looks toward the window. How are we ever going to get home? I press my fingertips into her shirt. The bird's quiet, and I gaze past Ev's face, past the soft line of her cheek, the swallowed clip of her breath, to the window. As I watch the first crack spread across the glass, I almost know. Depending on how we're all feeling, I have another shorter story that is a part of... Nah. We've been here long enough. What time is it, Ansley? 48. Fuck that. You guys should all go home. All right. Thank you. No, it's not that sexy. It's more like bad and awful and traumatizing.
Bad, awful sex. Bad, awful sex. Bad, awful sex. Bad, awful sex. Maybe.
No. So,
I really just wanted to chant that for once in my life.
Yeah, that's good. Thanks, Hector. Well, some people I know are going to go to karaoke after this, so if any of you who are in the audience want to go to Outback for karaoke another time and never think about short stories ever again, we can do that. But thank you all for coming, and I'm going to hand it back over to Rushi, who has done an amazing job stealth organizing this reading series.
Another round of applause for Katie. And for Elise, who...
Sorry.
Yeah, you can still see it. It's great. So, great job. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Innisfree. So Brian's been so gracious in letting us hold this here. And wonderful baristas here who have helped us set up and are making your drinks. Support this place. Go get a drink or a snack on your way out. And thanks for coming. We will be here every Wednesday this semester with something new and wonderful. Next week, we've got Oakley, who's standing right over there. Who's going to read some poems, some hybrid stuff. I don't know what. Great stuff. That's all you need to know. He's going to read some amazing.
It's going to make America great again.
It's going to make America great again. So, if you're American, if you like America, you will be here next Wednesday. If not, we know. Also, you will be here because then you can protest afterwards. Or you can get really upset. I don't know. Thanks for coming. Have a great night. Thank you, Katie and Elise. Another round of applause for them.
Hey, Stuart, I forgot to tell St. Georgie my hype man. I should have called you after releasing this right now.